So this is my review of the Beatles album, The Beatles, or the White Album. It was released in 1968 and produced by George Martin, even though I think he wasn't there for some of the sessions here, but I don't know, Ringo wasn't here for some of the songs on this album, and it seems like different people were playing on different tracks, so a lot of crazy stuff was going on, and I don't really know who's all on what. This was an album that I bought around 2009 when I was getting really into the Beatles. I bought it on the same day I bought Magical Mystery Tour, actually, and I always really liked it. I used to listen to it a lot when I was driving around, but then a couple years ago, my opinion of it kind of went downhill a little bit. I'm not really sure why. Maybe it was just that I hadn't listened to it a lot recently, or that I just kind of heard some of the songs of it randomly out of context with the album when I wasn't listening to it, and maybe that kind of lowered my opinion of it, because I do feel like some of these songs work better in the context of the album than they do on their own. But I'm not really sure why my opinion of it kind of fell. But definitely listening to at least the first half last night, my opinion of it kind of went back up again. And kind of before I get into the songs, I'm going to split my review of this album into two parts. So next week I'm going to do the part on the second CD of it, because I just reviewed about CD. So we're going to do the first disc today, and then the second disc next week. So anyway, into the songs. The first song, Back in the USSR, I've always really liked. I think it's a cool opening song. I like the Beach Boys kind of influenced harmonies on it. I think that's cool to hear them doing that kind of style. I do think Paul drums on this one, which it does sound kind of not like Ringo playing, but still good. But it's a cool song. I just thought the lyrics were really funny. The second song, Dear Prudence, another song that I think is really cool. Used to not be one I was really into, but now I just think it's a really pretty song. I think it's got some really cool guitar work on it. The third song, Glass Onion, has never really been one of my favorite songs. I don't really hate it, but I do think it's one of those songs that's kind of stronger in the context of the album. The fourth song, Obladi Oblada, song that I know that John hated, and I don't think the other guys really liked it either, other than Paul, from what I understand. But I think it's a really good song just because it's really catchy. Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know, dumb, but I think it's catchy, so I like it. The fifth song, Wild Honey Pie, is kind of not really a song. It's just kind of 52 seconds of noise that's not all that great. So that one, I honestly kind of used to skip that a lot. So it's probably well, it's not my pick for worst song on the album, but probably worst song on this side of the album. The sixth song, Continuing Story of Buffalo Bill, another song I used to not like that much, but it's kind of grown on me a little bit. Definitely last night I was like, okay, I don't mind this as much as I thought I did. But it's still not really my favorite, but I do think it works in the context of the album. I feel like they have kind of really serious songs on this album, and then some kind of silly songs, and I think the silly songs are the ones that are kind of inconsistent. The seventh song, While My Guitar Gently Weeps, great song, great song written by George. The guitar playing from Clapton on it's great. I just really love everything about the song. I think it's probably my favorite song on the album. Not really sure yet, because it's been a while since I've heard the second half of the album. I do need to listen to that again, but right now I'd say it's probably in the lead for my favorite song of the album. The eighth song, Happiness is a Warm Gun, another one I like. For some reason I like the drumming on it. That kind of stood out to me. I'm not sure why. The ninth song, Martha My Dear, another one I really like. I really like Paul's vocal on it. I feel like Paul has a lot of good vocals on this album. On these kind of some of the songs are slower, but I don't know if that one I would describe as, I don't know. That one's more kind of upbeat than some of the other ones, I guess. The 10th song, I'm So Tired, I also like. Couldn't really think of much to say about it other than that I can kind of sing along and I kind of remember all the lyrics. which I guess isn't that unusual for me, but it's been a while since I've listened to the album, so I was kind of surprised. Um, the 11th song, Blackbird, another one where I really like Paul's vocal. Just think it's a really pretty song. The 12th song, Piggies, another George song. And I just really love me some harpsichord, and have always just really liked the song. I like the lyrics. I like George's vocal on it. I love the harpsichord. Just think it's really catchy. Probably like my second favorite song on this side of the album, honestly. The 13th song, Rocky Raccoon, is kind of goofy. It's kind of remind me of the Bungalow Bill song, kind of like, I feel like Paul's version of that, but I kind of like it a little bit more. But it's still another one that's just kind of maybe a little too silly. The 14th song, Don't Pass Me By, is the Ringo song, and I've always liked it. I like Ringo's vocal on it. I like the song. I think it's catchy. Not entirely in love with like the fiddle on it and just kind of the way it sounds, but the rest of the song I think is pretty good. The 15th song, Why Don't We Do It in the Road, it's just kind of really repetitive and dumb. Like I don't completely hate it, but I don't really like it either. I'm not big on super repetitive songs. The 16th song, I Will, another one I really like Paul's vocal on, even though the song's kind of short, just really like it. And then the 17th final song on the CD, Julia, I think it's just a really pretty song with a great vocal by John. So I'm not going to rank the album on this one. I'll do it on the video for side 2, but the first half of the album I think is definitely pretty solid. I enjoy it a lot. It's got a few songs that I'm not huge on, which is kind of, I think, the first, well, it's not the first Beatles album up to this point that's had a few that I don't really like, but I think it's the first one that had this many that I kind of, I don't know, maybe other than For Sale, it's probably the first one that's had this many that I don't really like that much. I mean, not really including Yellow Submarine, because it's hard to really count any of that orchestrated stuff, which I didn't really dislike, but I just don't really see any reason to listen to it. So anyway, sorry, kind of rambling, but definitely a solid half to the album. Still some stuff I don't like on it. I feel like, I don't know, they've got some like really great songs, and then some ones that they're just kind of like, okay, this is kind of unnecessary.